Frank Viola, Cy Young Award winner for the Minnesota Twins, comes home to New York. 5 young pitchers go to Minnesota, and Frankie tries to make sweet music in his Mets and National League debut tonight. Coming up next right here on Channel 9.
Frank Viola in the National League for his first game start, and he has pitched against the National League. This is the World Series. When he faced the St. Louis Cardinals, he won the first and 7th game of the series to give the Twins the victory. He also lost the 4th game. Gun, radar gun, this year in the 90s, so that would not mean that he's lost anything. And he goes to the curve and he strikes out Coleman. That's his first batter in the National League.
That must have been, I'll tell you one thing, if they got Frank Viola in the 90s, that must have been that slow gun, because I don't think Frank Viola can throw over 90 miles an hour. I don't care what the scouts say, because that radar gun, they have 2 different types of guns, and one's about 5 miles an hour faster than the other. That was a high fastball right there.
And he hits it right to Johnson at third. Good play by Hojo. Miller turns the double play, and the inning is over. An error, but nobody left in the 8th, and we go to the 9th with Frank Viola in his Mets debut, trailing St. Louis 2-1 after this for MetLife. Todd Worrell trying to pick up his 16th save of the year and ruin Frank Viola's debut. Loop to left. Long run for Coleman. He can't get it. It's into the stands for a ground rule double. Hernandez in scoring position as the tying run with a pinch hit double with 2 out in the 9th.
Remember, it was Hernandez who tied it up. The pinch hit single off Mitch Williams in Sunday's game. Boy, he's just swinging with his arms right there. No effort whatsoever, and he drills it deep to left field.
Hernandez lifted in favor of Mark Carrion as a pinch hitter, and Frank Viola has life. And the Mex receives the congratulations, and rightfully so, as he keeps the Mets alive here in the 9th inning. And now Juan Samuel. So another 3-2 pitch. Ripped and a base hit to left field. Here comes Carrion. He will score. Coleman's throw going to second. Samuel slides. He's safe. The Mets tie the game with 2 out in the bottom, or the top of the 9th inning, on a pinch hit double by Keith Hernandez and an RBI double on a 3-2 pitch from Juan Samuel.
He didn't foul this one off. Another fat part of the plate, fastball this time. And I mean, it is ripped into left field, to the point where when Coleman caught the ball, had put him back on his heels, and Samuel takes advantage of it, and the Met bench explodes. Boy, big hits have been hard to come by, but that was a big hit right there. It gives them new life.
Frank Viola cannot lose the game as the Mets tie it in the 9th, and Howard Johnson will be intentionally walked. 1-2. A line drive and a base hit to center field. Samuel scores. Johnson will score. Strawberry stops at second, and Kevin McReynolds drives in 2, and the Mets lead it 4-2.
Because the previous wild pitch was scored that way, then both of those runs are earned. Out of the depths of despair have the Mets risen this evening, folks. 2 out, nobody on. Todd Worrell breezing along. He faced
coming from a 2-1 deficit as we go to the bottom of the 9th after this for Nissan.
At second base is clear. I'd bear down on the hitter, not even think about a pitch out.
Ozzie Smith pops it up, and this should be the ball game. Greg Jeffries in foul territory, and the Mets have come back with a victory that at the end of the season may loom very large. 3 runs in the 9th inning, being down by 1 and holding on in the bottom of the 9th to win it 4-3. Frank Viola gets his first National League victory, and Randy Myers in the 9th gets his 16th save.
There was one other game that I can remember that may have pulled the Mets together. That was when Cincinnati, Rob Dibble hit Tim Tuffle, and the next day the Mets came out smoking the Juan Samuel. Well, it was Samuel the hero tonight. And I can't think of another game this season where the Mets have had more pizzazz at the end of the game and more of a free-spirited feeling. And it's nice to see them that way, really, because it's been a season filled with frustration.
They eased a little bit of it in the last 2 nights with 11-0 win last night, and then this sterling come from behind victory 4-3. Tim and I'll be back with a final word from St. Louis after this for